Hello, so I'm starting another video off in my bed in my hoodie. I just want to make a clarification. I wash this like every single week. It's smelling so fresh right now. It's just the warmest thing I own and my flat is freezing sometimes. Anyway, this video is an interview tips video. So Rosie and I are going to give you some of our top tips based on our reflections from our interviews 2 years ago. Oh my gosh, it was 2 years ago now. So I hope this helps. Please like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, just leave them below and I will try and answer them as quick as possible.
First thing, you need to know your personal statement, know like the back of your hand, like really reflect and deep your personal experience so then you can pick up on certain stuff that you've witnessed, certain skills or attributes like that doctors have that you have yourself. Think of stuff that you've done to prove that you have those attributes. And yeah, don't lie, people can see right through that. Just make sure that anything you actually say is true about yourself.
Okay, so my first tip would be to research the course slash the city you're going to and the way they do the interview. So me and Rosie both had interviews for very different unis, and a lot of them do interviews slightly differently. So some might do mini multiple interviews MMIs, or some might do panel interviews, and you want to make sure that like before you come in, you kind of know what you're going to expect, so it's less of a scare for you. So that's why you need to research the interview. For researching the course, they like to ask questions about why the course might suit you, and it's good to just know why you want to go to that uni because you'll see if the course does suit you. And for the city, you want to make sure that you can see yourself living there if you do get in. Like, I thought Dundee was nice and small, which is why I was happy living here, and I wouldn't really want to live in Glasgow, which is like a big city. It scared me a bit. But research why the uni would also be good for you as a person coming here.
Okay, so you need to know the 4 pillars of medical ethics. It's like autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence, or however you say it, and justice. And you've got to be aware of like capacity in a patient. So do your research on that, fully understand it, and again, like reflect on personal experiences you may be seeing where it's been good or bad when a doctor has done this. Because you could also be asked an ethics question, and you'll need to like put your mind in the doctor, like actually treating a patient.
Another tip is if you can, try do some mock interviews with your friends or family or teachers, just anyone around you who might be wanting to help you. Because the more you get to practice actually answering questions, the more you're going to feel more comfortable with it when you're doing it as an interview candidate. So when I say do this, make sure you're not rehearsing your answers to death so you sound like a robot, because no one wants you to sound like a robot in an interview. You want to come across as yourself, which is really scary and overwhelming when you're doing something like this. But honestly, practice makes perfect. Just get yourself used to answering questions and it will all do you good. On this one, I'd also say make sure you keep your answers succinct, because sometimes you may have an interviewer who might cut you off, and that's not them wanting to be rude, it's just they want to ask you loads of questions and to make sure that they've seen you as a candidate. So you want to make sure you don't go back over your answers when you're answering the questions. I like to follow the peel structure. I know Rosie doesn't do that, but for me sometimes it helped me plan it out slightly so I didn't like ramble as I'm doing right now. So point, evidence, explanation, link it to medicine. And I am doing rambling like I told you guys not to, so I'm gonna go.
Another one of just like actually getting to know what it's like being a doctor. Read books, watch stuff on TV, look at the BBC News as well for like different dilemmas in the NHS at the moment. Just do as much as you can, talk to people, med students, talk to doctors if you can, and just know what it's actually going to be like as a doctor. Can you see yourself in this position? Do you think you have what it takes, like the attributes to be able to go through medicine, like medical school, and be a doctor at the end of the day? And think of all the problems that you'll face, like what can you do to combat this or like get through any issues that you may face in the future.
Okay, we're now going to say some tips about on the day slash the night before. So as crazy and as hard as it sounds, the night before, try and go to bed early, stop looking at all your interview stuff, do something to relax, watch a TV show, spend some time with your dog or something, do something that help you calm down, and then wake up in the morning bright and early, have some breakfast, and then get to your interview location with plenty of time before your interview, just in case you get lost of where you're going to go. Make sure you dress the part, dress up smart, and honestly, take a deep breath, because at the end of the day, they don't want you to fail. You got an interview because you're here, because they know you can do this. So remember that people are behind you. We're not trying to trip you up. So that's what I'd say for on the day so far.
Okay, so when you're doing it, especially the MMIs, you might have thought one station went really, really bad. Just forget about it. Think to the next. Like, you don't know just how bad it went. I know I had once and I thought I completely messed up and I couldn't get it out of my head when I should have just let it go and move on. Focus on what's in front of you right there, because you might not have actually done as bad as you thought. So when they ask you a question, you might be like, what on earth? I have no idea what to say. You can take a second to sit and think, and just, you can literally just sit there. It may feel like forever, but it might not actually be that long. And if you don't understand what they have asked you, ask them to clarify, because it's better to get them to clarify what they've said and that you've understood it, or if you didn't hear it, rather than go on and not answering the question. Make sure you actually answer the question, and then just be yourself in that and have fun. Yeah.
Okay, so after your interview, first of all, take a deep breath. Well done, you've done it. If you have more interviews, I'd say take some time to reflect on what you think went well from that one, what didn't go well, and then you can try and make changes for your next interview. The rest of the day, I'd say go home, celebrate with your family, get a nice meal, do something that you enjoy, just to like take your mind out of this, because for a lot of you, your S6 students' final year of high school, it's a really busy year. You've had your applications, you had your UCAT during summer, you have interviews now, and then you've got exams. Like, it just keeps going. So do something to make sure you're not going to burn out, because at the end of the day, if you want to come into med school being all refreshed and good for your first year. So that's what I'd say.
So this one is, don't be disheartened with rejection, whether you don't get an interview or you have an interview and you don't get in. There's so many other ways that you can get into medicine. We know many of our friends have done Gateway, they've taken gap years and they've gone and they've travelled, enjoyed themselves. Like, honestly, there's so many different ways to get into medicine. Some people have been postgraduates or have done one course for 1 year and then have come join medicine. Like, don't be disheartened, because it's not the end of the world. It may feel like the end of the world. That's so valid, but there is other ways if you want to do it. So we're just gonna share some of our interview horror stories. All of ours were online because we had it during COVID time. So Tatiana seems to have way more problems with actual COVID and internet connection. Mine was more what I actually said and did in the interview. If you want to share yours.
So I'd say my first interview was Dundee, and I thought that one was fine. It was all good, all dandy, so it set me up. I was like, oh yeah, this is great. And then I got COVID for my Aberdeen and my Edinburgh interviews, and so one of them I just didn't have a voice for, and then the second one, my Wi-Fi just cuts out like halfway through the interview and I missed one of my stations. But I said to say, I got offers from Edinburgh and Aberdeen as well. You just need to let them know if stuff like that's happening, and they will do whatever they can to accommodate you. And also, don't take it to heart if you think something got messed up a little bit, because you've probably made up for it in other areas. You're obviously a good communicator, that's how you've gotten this far. And I'd say one other thing, you still do this now for in-person interviews. They often have you all collaborating together at the start, so you get to meet each other, have a little chat, you might get a tour around the med school. Don't be thrown off if you think people are trying to like almost throw shade on you. I'll try to explain this a bit better. So at the start of the Aberdeen one, there were a bunch of people who were just trying to flex about like how amazing they are. They're like, oh, I do international this, I do international that. When you went to share a fun fact, don't let it put you down if you don't do international anything. Once again, I say you're still here for a reason. And some people just want to psych out the competition. I know it's not a nice thing to say, but at the end of the day, it's a competition to get in, and some people aren't going to play as nice as you might. So I'm going to reiterate it. I'm doing what I told you guys not to do in this video. Do not take it to heart if you feel inadequate, because you're not inadequate. You are here for a reason, darling. I'm cringing at that, but I'm keeping it in. Yeah. You go.
That is so true as well, with like talking with everyone. Like, talk to everyone. Like, that is really good. We had to do that in Aberdeen, like in a breakout room. Talk to people, and like, yeah, you'll have people that are like flexing and be like, oh, am I good enough? Yes, you're good enough. You've got an interview. You're good enough. I think my fun fact was like, I've got a twin sister or something. Like, it was literally nothing special. Or you could be like, oh, I broke my ankle one time.
Literally.
Fun fact.
Literally.
But my horror stories was honestly Dundee. Dundee, I thought I did the worst in. I thought I really messed up. I had my Snapchat memory now every year, and it's me just crying after the interview online. Thought I really messed it up. Thought I talked too much. I definitely did, like how I always do.
We both go.
Like, that is my biggest weakness. I was like, I talk too much. I can't get to the point. I warble. I do what I'm doing right now. As you can tell, the Dundee one, he was stone cold faced, and I was like, oh, I really messed up, and interrupted me to like ask other questions or get me back on track. Like, they're not doing it to be mean or anything. Like I thought I just completely messed up, but we're here, so yeah. My only other horror story is like I after my interview I saw a cat get run over, and it's actually traumatized me. I can't lie.
One good thing is, let's not end on the dead cat. We just chilling in there, and oh my god. Sorry, we've been filming stuff for too long, and now I'm gonna stop it now. I hope this video has been some help. Please like and subscribe, and leave any comments below.
If you
put some links in.
If you see us, you can say hi, and we'll just be like, we might be confused. It might take us a wee bit of time because sometimes we're quite like
We're slow
because we're tired, and we're like, wait, what?
What just happened there?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Good luck.
Good luck. Yes, have fun. Every experience is a learning experience.
Okay. 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 Bye. You see, if it wasn't filming, I'm actually just like, no, it was.